All right, you guys, well, if you've been following along, we're at Shangri-La. Shangri-La douche is over there, and Shangri-La is our first priority, and we demolished and took the whole front face of the house off. Let me show you what we did. Some of you guys wanted to know. Now, a couple things, backstory here. Twice in the last 20 years the water has flooded and came up to about there, and it consequently what happened is our wall rotted out, but it didn't rot out from that. Okay, I need to point that out because we have rebuilt these walls. If you take a look inside, we use concrete and we rebuilt all of these walls all the way up, and behind the stone this has all been fully waterproofed from this point down, and that waterproofing is a redundancy. You can actually see it. We folded it over the edge of the footing because if the water ever does come up again, that waterproofing is not going to do anything, because if the water comes up to this height, I have to do this. I have to open up the door, because you can't have 8 feet of water pushing in on a wall and have nothing over here. You have to equalize pressure. So when the water comes up, you just open up the door. So that waterproofing isn't really going to be keeping any water out. It's more just for peace of mind for any water that falls, hits, goes backwards, and it just protects our thing better. So now we're going to take all of these boulders out. There, I'm going to take those, I'm going to push them over there. I'm going to grab some of that sand, move it up where Lucy's making her little, she loves the sand pile. That's why I brought that's why I brought sand in. You can see her laying down. My grandkids love it and the dogs love it. So I'm going to save that sand, move it up top, and then I'm going to remove this block wall, and then I'm going to carve a path right through here, because I don't want to walk down and around anymore. I want to go between the tree and this wall, and we're going to try to use those boulders that we have up top to make this wall disappear. And I know that's going to be like, what are you talking about, Dirt Monkey? Well, I don't want you to know where the wall starts. I want to try to make this so that it looks like the whole house is just coming out of this bluff down below. And then of course we got a lot more work to do after that, but one thing at a time. We're going to be using the natural, I don't know, topography, geography, just what's around this, indigenous to this area, for our materials. And this is actually some sandstone, and you can see I got some pretty massive pieces. Some of these are 5 and 6 foot long. Some of these weigh close to 2 ton each. That's a 2 ton, that's a 2 ton, that's a 2 ton. This is about 1,500 pounds, that's 2. That one's probably about 1,800 pounds. And the guy at the aggregate pit where I was working at, he's like, how can you look at them and point and figure? I'm like, dude, I've been lifting boulders my whole life. He's like, well, I don't think you're right. Because I had 3 boulders left over. So he goes over with his loader. I'm like, those weigh just a titch over a ton each. And he's like, no, they're like 700 pounds, 800 pounds. They're over just a titch over a ton each. So when I call that a 2 ton boulder, that is a 2 ton boulder. I'm not guessing. I'm using some of the experience I've gained from moving these things. And I need to know how much they weigh, because I'm only going to be using an RT75 ASV to do the entire install with some jank forks. That's my tools. So let's get to work. concrete blocks come in pretty handy sometimes, as well as little pieces of concrete like this and other little pieces of concrete, because you get a boulder that's pretty close but it's not quite right. You can throw a wedge underneath it and get it exactly how you want it. Decisions. Okay, I don't like that line. Of course, that's one of the original lines when they were mining. That might be cool, but it looks artificial. But it's history, right? Where we got this side? I'm taking this side. How do I want to put it? Right in that corner. I want to set back. I don't want it flush to this rock. I want it fitted tighter into this corner, but not tight. I want it up forward a little bit. That way, if I want to put a flat one over the top, I still can. Okay, this is the easy part, to be honest with you. The first stones are always the easiest. Everything after them gets a lot more difficult. So I have zero capability of rotating this boulder once I have it in the bucket. So before I go to place this into the wall, I have to determine which side I want out and how I want the boulder to actually be placed into the wall. And then I have to come in and grab the boulder in a way that allows me to just gently set it in place without moving it afterward. The bucket is not my first choice for moving around boulders and rotating them and flipping them. A good set of forks is a lot easier to handle, and so that's what I'm going to use on this next boulder. I want that boulder to set back and tight, and it's not quite doing what I need it to. I want these boulders to be close to the wall, but no way, shape, or form should they put any stress or weight on the foundation of the house. In fact, these boulder walls put zero pressure onto the foundation of this house. I want to have a flowing transition from the rock on the house to the boulders and the landscaping. I don't want to see a seam or have that line of delineation that notes one from the other. I want everything just to flow together. I don't like how this boulder is sitting, and I want to get it out of here, and this is where it gets tricky. As I'm trying to remove it, if that boulder flops forward, it'll be the most pressure on this house yet, and I don't want these boulders touching the foundation of this house. Time warp. This next boulder is actually too heavy to carry down straight forward, so I have to spin the ASB backwards to get it down the hill. Okay, I like it. Top is matched up with the other one. Too far this way. If I can get it to go that way about that far without going kittywampus, which never happens. Watch. If it does, this will be awesome. But it won't. Don't worry, it'll mess it up. Did we get her to touch without going through the foundation? That's about a 3-ton boulder. That's a 2-tonner. And that's about 1,500 pounds, and we got her to touch. Nice. The corner is established. How are we looking up top though? Oh, I like it. Oh. Okay, but is it stable? Is it stable? It's got to pass the walk test, because kids are always going to be... Yes! Of course, the beginning is the easiest, and that only took me an hour and a half. But now I'm going to put another boulder right there. And it's going to be a seat stone. So as you come out, right in front of the lake. Now this is a seat stone too, right? Right in front of the lake. Let's keep going. Let's have some fun. Let's just go randomly grab another stone. So here's my extremely scientific process. I go up top, I look at the stone, I go, "You're probably a good one," and I grab it. Close. It really is close. This is okay. I'm okay with the top here. I'm not okay with that. But if I move that down, now I've lost this boulder. Because you know people are going to be using these as steps. A small one right there. Passes the jump test. Couple small ones. Let's try it. What do you think? Took about 3 hours. And I wanted to eliminate the wall. Give it some setbacks. So these will be planting beds. Boom, boom, planting beds. I want to have some creeping vines coming out. I'm going to fill all them in. I still got to put a boulder in here. But my sun is going down. So that's going to end it for today. Tomorrow, in the next video, we're going to come in here. But we're not just going to do what we did on this side. We're going to dig a path so that we can create an S-curve. So the wall will come out and go around. Actually, it'll go in, out, and around and die over there. So this will be walking. And if I'm good, maybe I can get an easy spot to climb up stair-wise. If I was smart, I would have done it. I tried to do it. How did it turn out? Yeah, you can climb it. It's not exactly the easiest, is it? But you're not breaking your neck. All right, you guys. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow on the next one when we go after that one. God bless you guys. Thanks for joining along. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you just for being part of my audience, man. You know what? You guys make it, honestly, the funnest it can be. So thank you, you guys. Have a good one, you guys. We'll see you on the next one.